Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's been like a hell of a long time since I last put any videos on this channel, but I've been watching Alonzi on his channel and following his love for everything manga and anime related, so it kind of inspired me to get back on my channel and start making videos again. So hopefully there'll be more frequent ones coming up within the next few months and whatnot. So I thought I'd start things off by doing a manga collection. It's been a long time since I've last updated, so I've got 900 plus volumes, and just thought I'd like to show you guys. So let's get started. First off, I've got to show you is my smallest bookshelf. I've got five in total, and this one's got sort of like my ongoing shonen ones that I'm currently reading or currently collecting. So first of all, we've got volumes 1 to 14 of Tokyo Ghoul and volume 1 through 7 of Tokyo Ghoul Re. I have watched the anime for this second part, and I know it differs slightly, I believe, from the manga, so I need to hurry up and catch up with that one. Over here we've got My Hero Academia volumes 1 through 20. I'm halfway through volume 19. I am up to date with it, but I've just recently got into the anime and I'm only just finished season 1, so no spoilers. I'm not up to date with the recent chapters, but I'm doing volume by volume kind of thing. But yeah, down here is Blue Exorcist volumes 1 through 21. Again, I'm up to date on this. I'm only recently up to date on this because I've had up to volume 10 or 11 for a good couple of years, and I kind of fell out of love with this one after watching the anime, like the first season, and I was a bit like not really fussed on it. Then recently got back into it and ended up buying all of it up to date, and I have to say I really do enjoy this series. Not everybody does, it's not for everybody, but I do enjoy this. Next up is one of my favourite series that is currently being released, and that is Dr. Stone, volumes 1 to 6. And I have to say I did purchase this a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I had volumes 1 and 2, and I brought the rest and binged everything. I am doing this volume by volume again, so no spoilers in the comments down below. But it's a really good series. It's one of my favourite ones that are currently being released. The other one being Demon Slayer, but I'm yet to pick that one up. But hopefully I will do at some point. Next up is The Promised Neverland. Again, I'm not up to date with this. I'm kind of putting it on the back burner for the moment because I know it'll be finishing soon, so it's not on my priority. But again, please no spoilers in the comment box below, but it is a good series as well. Twin Star Exorcist volumes 1 through 6, Maggie volumes 1 through 4, and then down here 5 through 13. Next we have Deadman Wonderland volumes 1 through 8, and next to that is Yu Yu Hakusho volumes 1 to 3, 7, 8, 10, 12, 18 and 19. Next up is The Grey Man, volume 1 to 8, and last but not least is Black Cat, volumes 1 through 14. I have just started collecting this one. Unfortunately, some of the later volumes are out of print, so they're going to be a little bit more of a pain in the backside to get hold of, but hopefully I'll be able to do that, because from what I've read so far, I mean, I'm halfway through it at the moment, volume 1 at the moment. I have read this volume and got halfway through volume 2, but then stopped for some other reason, so I'm going to go back and start from the beginning and reread it and hopefully get up to date soon. So that is bookcase 1, so that's just the overview of it, and I will move on to shelf number 2. So here's shelf number 2. I've kind of got like the OG big 3 on here. I'm not up to date with all of them, and I've still got quite a few to collect, but I thought I'd put them all together just because it kind of makes more sense. So I have One Piece Volume 1, let's just move Ace out of the way, to 42 on the top shelf, and then moving down, I've got One Piece Volumes 43 all the way through to 76, and a big gap, and then 84 to 88, so I need to fill in that gap. But my favourite volume cover is the one for Saba Odi. It's my favourite with Boa Hancock on it. But yeah, moving down to the next one, let's put her back in front of her book, is Bleach, volumes 1 to 44, and then we've got Grimjow and Rukia sitting there, and then the next one will be 45 to 66, and Naruto volume 1 through 13, 28 to 33, and Naruto the one shot. I do need to get up to date on this one because it is, obviously it's ended, but I think I'm just going to get the box sets at some point, but it's not a priority right now. And then moving on is Dr. Slump, volume 1 and 2. Again, I've read these two volumes. I'm kind of umming and ahhing whether or not to continue it or not. I mean, it was quite amusing, quite funny, but it's not one that I would automatically grab if I was to go and buy them. So I'm not quite sure. And then down to, oh, let me get on the floor. Down to the last shelf is Toriko, volumes 1 to 30, and then 32. This one's a really good series, and unfortunately a lot of people haven't seemed to have picked it up, sadly. But towards the end, I suppose it was kind of rushed. I haven't actually got all of them, but I've read ahead a little bit, and from what I hear, it's been rushed. But I've enjoyed what I've read so far, so hopefully I'll get those soon. Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan, volumes 1 and 2. I've seen the anime. I really enjoyed the anime, so hopefully I'll enjoy the manga just as much. Hunter x Hunter, volumes 1 to 4. I've seen the anime. I love the anime. What I've read from the manga I like, but obviously it's by Togashi and it seems to be on hiatus all the time, so hopefully we'll get an ending to it, but you know, can't promise anything. Next is Monster, volume 1 to 4. I have to say, I've read volume 1, part the way through volume 2, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I know everybody loves it, but it's kind of a bit confusing for me, but I'm going to stick with it and see how I go. But what do you think? Do you think I should carry on? I'm not quite sure. And just at the bottom here is my anime and miscellaneous stuff. But onto my last set of shelves, and there's 3 there, and it's all sort of like my shoujo stuff, but I'll give you an overhaul of this shelf again. So this is the bottom one, Bleach and Naruto, Dr. Slump, more Bleach, and then all the way at the top there is the One Piece ones. So here's the overview of my next 3 shelves. So let's get started at the top left here. So first up on this shelf we've got Children of the Whales volumes 1 through 10, and does anybody else find that the covers are just stunning? Like, the mangaka is extremely talented, and Viz has done an amazing job with the releases, so I can't wait to continue on with this series. Next up to that is Urusei Yatsura volume 1 by Rumiko Takahashi. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this series, if I'm being honest. I loved her works, Inuyasha and Ranma Half, but it's taken me a little while to get sort of like invested into this, so I'm going to give it another couple of volumes and then see how I feel. But so far, it's alright. So next up is Tanake and Hana, volume 1 to 3. Unfortunately, I'm not up to date with this one yet, but it is really amusing and I do want to get a couple more. There is a slight age gap involved, so if you guys aren't into that, each to their own, but it's not like a creepy like age gap. It's okay because there's nothing sort of like intimate that's happened, so it's quite innocent at this moment at the moment. So I'll continue with it and then see how I feel. If it gets creepy, I'll drop it. But next up is Yona of the Dawn volumes 1 to 2 and QQ Sweeper volumes 1 through 3, Queen's Quality volumes 1 through 5 and Dengeki Daisy volumes 1 through 16, which is complete. Can I just say, like, if this is a little bit shaky, it's because it's on my phone. I cannot get my camera to work and my laptop is completely broken, so I do apologise. But anyway, let's move on. Next up is My Love Story volumes 1 through 4, which I'm not 100% on this one. Have read up to volume 4. It's kind of intriguing, but it's not like really gripped me, so I might continue it. I mean, there's only 13 volumes, I believe, so I might as well get all of them and then read it through and then see how I feel. But it's okay. I mean, it's not one that I am ecstatic about, but it's okay. Next up is Fushigi Yugi Genbo Kaiden, which is by Yu Watase, volumes 1 through 8. And then another Yu Watase series, which is Fushigi Yugi the Mysterious Play, volumes 1 through 18. I watched the anime of this one when I was a lot younger and I really, really enjoyed it. The anime is amazing, but the art from the manga is stunning, and Yu Watase is extremely talented with her story writing as well as her art. So I've got quite a few of her series, like Ceres, Celestial Legend, volume 1 through 14. I don't know if this one's out of print. Part of me is like, some of them might be, but that one's a really, really good series as well. And then moving on down here is another Yu Watase series, and that one is Absolute Boyfriend. And then next to that there is 6 series by Arina Tanemura, which is another one of my favourite mangakas. We've got Idle Dreams, volumes 1 and 2, The Gentleman's Alliance Cross, volumes 1 through 3, Mistress Fortune, which is a one-shot, Time Stranger Kyoko, volumes 1 through 3, Kamikaze Kaito Jin, volumes 1 through 7, which is complete, along with Time Traveller Kyoko. And then we've got Sakura Hime, The Legend of Princess Sakura, volumes 1 through 12, which is also complete, which is also a really, really good series. I would really recommend this one if you are a fan of Arina Tanemura. Next to that is Spell of Desire, volumes 1 through 5, which is complete. I haven't actually finished reading this yet. It's I think it's mature. Is it mature? I think it's for mature readers. Yeah, mature readers. It's kind of a little bit smutty. What I've read so far, it's okay, but it's not amazing. Moving on to Midnight Secretary. Again, this one's a little bit mature. It's got a little bit of smuttiness in it, should I say, but it's not too much. It's okay, and it is actually quite a good series, but that's 1 through 7 of Midnight Secretary, and that one is complete. Moving down to this shelf, and we've got a lot of Kaori Yuki. I say a lot, I've got 3 series, but I do really enjoy her art and her story writing. It's quite dark, and I do quite enjoy that quite a lot, actually. But first up, there is Demon from Afar, volume 1 through 2. Fairy Q, volume 1 through 3, which is complete. Now, this one I haven't actually finished. I've read 2 volumes of it, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. It feels like a little bit rushed. I almost feel like it needed to be longer. The series needs to be longer. But it was okay. I mean, I do need to finish the last volume, but from what I've read, it was okay. Next up is Angel Sanctuary, volumes 1 through 20. And can I just say how freaking detailed are these volumes? Like, they are stunning. Karayuki has got like amazing art. She's got an amazing art style. But yeah, this one might be for everybody. It's about a brother and sister, about reincarnation, and the brother and sister kind of fall for each other, but it's really confusing. I'm probably not explaining it too well at all, but surprisingly it's not that bad. It was one of my favourites when I was a lot younger, but it's very dark, a little bit twisted, but it is an enjoyable series. So if you haven't read it and you get the chance to, I would recommend it, because surprisingly it was quite good. And then moving on, we've got Sensual Phrase, and that is volumes 1 through 17. I do believe that one's complete, but I'm not quite sure. I think there might be a volume 18, but it might be sort of like a load of random one-shot series, but I'm not entirely sure. This one is definitely mature. Yeah, this one definitely is, so have that in mind if you pick it up. Not that I think you'll be able to, because I believe most of them, if not all of them, are out of print, but that is a good series. Then moving down to the next one, let's just move Broken Groot out of the way. There is Demon Love Spell, volumes 1 through 6, and then Otamen, volumes 1 through 8, Vampire Knight, volumes 1 through 17, Shuriken and Pleats, volume 1, Wedding Peach, volumes 1 through 6, and Wedding Peach Young Love. That one, Wedding Peach and Wedding Peach Young Love, is a really good series. It's kind of similar to Sailor Moon. I suppose it kind of rips off Sailor Moon a little bit, but I really like magical girls, so for me it was actually a really fun read, and the anime was really good as well. Next up is Here is Greenwood, volumes 1 and 2. This one is going to be an absolute nightmare to find, because all of it is out of print and it's extremely expensive, so that one is probably going to be a slow collect, unfortunately. Black Rose Alex, volumes 1 and 2. And then right at the bottom here, got to get down on the floor, I've got a few art books, a couple of Marvel throwbacks, and I've got Betrayal Knows My Name, volume 1, SS Astro, I believe that's a one-shot, a couple of Bleach data books, the Naruto one, Hellgirl, volumes 1 through 6, and then the last 3 volumes in an omnibus, which is volumes 7 through 9. I haven't actually read this one yet, but I hear that it's really good, and I saw an amazing deal on eBay and I just couldn't pass it up. And then down here, Moon Boy volume 4, which is a manhwa, Legend volumes 1 through 4, and then 7, which is also a manhwa, Shugo Chara volumes 1 through 3, and Her Majesty's Dog volumes 1, 2, 9 and 11, and then Spiral volume 1. If you haven't read Legends, I would recommend it. It is a manhwa, so it's read opposite to what a Japanese manga is, but it is really good nonetheless. Then let me just bring you back up here just for another overview. So top shelf, down, second one, third one with all of my Arina Tanemura, Karayuki, and that one down there. So onto the middle shelf of the 3, I've got my Funkos here of Sailor Moon. So I have got all of Sailor Moon. I've got the first box set, which has 1 to 6 in it. It has some gorgeous art on the entire box. Then you've got the rest of it behind there, which is volumes 7 through 12, I believe, if I can move Queen Beryl. Yeah, 12. And then the 2 one-shot stories. But if you're not a fan of Sailor Moon, you could totally pass this one up. It's definitely not one that you must have, but if you're a Sailor Moon fan, I would recommend it. And then to the right of that, I have Codename Sailor V, and I have got both volumes. The other one is behind it, but I'm not going to bother moving that right now. And then if I pop down to the next one, I have recently found an amazing deal on eBay for volumes 4 through 11 of Boys Over Flowers. I'm looking for a really good deal on the rest of the series because I know they're super expensive, but I really, really want to own this one. I've seen the Korean drama of this series and I loved it, so I really want to see where that got its source from, sort of like from the source material. So I'm quite excited to get hold of these, but this will be a slow collect because of how many there are and how expensive they are. But moving on, it's To Your Eternity volumes, let's move Luna and Sailor Mars out the way, volumes 1 through 5. This one is by the same lady that done Silent Voice, so if you haven't read Silent Voice, it's totally different. It's really heart-wrenching, but it is also really good nonetheless, so I would recommend this one as well. Moving on, we have The 7 Deadly Sins, volumes 1 through 4, and then 6 through 11. And then we'll put those back. Going down again, we've got more Sailor Scouts and Black Lady in the way. A Silent Voice, volumes 1 through 2. The Heroic Legend of Arsland, volumes 1 through 5. This one's a really good one. It kind of reminds me of Kingdom. If this would ever license Kingdom, it would be the most amazing thing ever because I am in love with that series. Next up is Say I Love You, volumes 2 through 4 and then 6 through 9. And then we've got My Little Monster, volumes 1 and 2. And My Girlfriend's a Geek, volume 1. Blood Lad, volumes 1 through 3. Oh, let me put those back. Then going down further, I've got Nabari no O, volumes 1 through 14, which is complete, which was an absolute nightmare to get hold of. It was only that I went into my local comic book store and they just so happened to have the last 2 volumes, which were extremely out of print and so bloody hard to find. But I got them for a steal, so I was so happy about that one. Next up is Soul Eater, volumes 1 through 4 and 24, hence why Maka and Soul are sitting in front of it. And then we've got Bloody Cross, volumes 1 through 3. And then, if I sit back, down further is Inuyasha, the Viz Big Editions, volume 1 through 10. And the bottom one is empty for when my collection continues to expand. Going back up to the top. So at the top of the last bookshelf, I've got Fruits Basket, the Collector's Edition, volumes 1, 2, and volume 7. Yen Press has done an absolutely amazing job of this re-release. I have got the original series, but I love Fruits Basket so much. I love the reboot that they've done. I own the original anime. The reboot is stunning. The animation is stunning, and I can't wait to get that as well when they hopefully release it here in the UK. But yeah, moving on, I've got Phantom Dream volumes 1 and 2, and then the original Fruits Basket volumes 1 through 23, and then Mars volumes 1 through 15, and then Horse with No Name, which has got like a load of short stories. I think it's a prequel to this series, if I remember. If I remember it right, I'm probably going to get it wrong, but that's an amazing series. If you get the chance to own it or read it, I highly recommend you do so. Then moving down here, if I just move that out of the way, and the unicorn. Then I've got Samurai Deeper Kyo volumes 1 all the way through to volume 38, which is complete. And then Demon Diary volumes 1 through 7, which is also complete. If I then go down a little bit further, we've got Marmalade Boy volumes 1 through 3. I really want to finish this series. I've seen most of the anime and I enjoyed it, but I hear the manga's really, really good, so I'm trying to get hold of these slowly because they are out of print and they are quite expensive, so hopefully I will get hold of them one day. Then we've got Cardcaptor Sakura volumes 1 through 4, which is complete. Magic Knight Raya volumes 1 and 2 complete. Angelic Layer volumes 1 and 2 complete. Sayuki volumes 1 through 3 complete. Holic volumes 1 through 17, and then the omnibus of the last 2, which is complete. Moving down, we've got Tsubasa volumes 1 through 21, and then Kabuto volumes 1 through 4. Wish volumes 1 through 4, which is complete. Ranma Half volumes 1 through 10, and then 17 and 18. Kimi ni Todoke volumes 1 through 3, and then 4 through 7, 9, 11, 15, 16, 18, 19, 21 and 22. I do need to get up to date on that because that is now ended, but I'll get there eventually. I always say that, but I will, because I did enjoy what I read of that. Next to that is Ore-sama Teacher volumes 1 through 19. Wallflower volumes 1 through 14. I'm not sure if I'm going to complete this one because I hear that it kind of goes downhill towards the end, but I have really enjoyed it for what I've read of it. And then the last one, A Devil in a Love Song volumes 1 through 8, and then Blackbird volumes 1 through 18, and then on the end I've got my 10-inch Mickey Mouse. But that's it, that's the overview of all 3 shelves. Middle one, and then the end one there. Again, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye!